Okay, hello everyone. So let's wait a bit so everyone can join us and we'll get started shortly. Hi Milana, how are you today?
Hey, hello, Tatiana. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thrilled to start.
Okay, great. How's the weather on your side? Where are you located, by
Well,
the way?
today it is sunny in Prague. No snow, a lot of sun, so kind of
Okay,
autumn. Yeah.
yeah.
Even though it
Uh,
is
I'm
winter, so yeah.
I'm not far from you. I'm in Krakow, and today it's almost spring, I guess. It's sunny and yeah, very pleasant.
That's nice.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so today we're going to speak about visual evidence. So it's a very important topic, I guess, because everyone, I guess, likes some visual aids, some visualization, right, to understand the topics correctly, the information that is presented. So I guess Milana will share a very interesting experience with us. So I think we are almost done, and I hope that everyone will join us during the webinar. And yeah, I guess we can get started. So I'm passing my word to Milana, and Milana, welcome to you. One thing just to
Yeah.
mention. So I will put in the chat the link to our webinar. And if you like the webinar, so please leave us some thank yous. You can rate our webinar and say thank you to Milana and probably to the facilitator. Yeah, and in the end of our webinar, we'll have a Q&A session, so you can put your questions in the chats from where you are watching our webinar on VR community or in YouTube, and we will answer these questions in the end. So thank you very much, and yeah, passing my word to Milana.
Yeah. Thank you, Tatiana, so much. So yeah, let's kick started. Well, good day, everyone. Today I will discuss a topic that is vital for all business analysts, and not only even business analysts, probably for project managers, other leads as well. The power of visual evidence in communicating of complex topics. Let me manage screenshots. Yep. So my name is Milana Kotova, and I'm a senior IT business analyst in Barclays Investment Bank. Over my career, I've seen the transformative role of visuals in bridging understanding across complex domains, and today I'm thrilled to share my insights with you. A bit about myself, about my experience. I had a fascinating journey as a business analyst, from spearheading global projects with Amos CRM, Barclays, to launching IT business analysis department here in the Czech Republic in IT company. I've gained extensive experience in variety fields of IT analysis, uh, client management systems, managing travels, banking, etc. As a speaker, mentor, and writer, I focus on advancing business analysis as profession and helping others to succeed in this field. So, effective communication for business analysts. As a rule, it requires deep understanding of the industry, technology, data we are working with. It also involves collaborating with diverse stakeholders, with people different with different background, different domains and roles. And like simplifying complex concepts is becoming a key here. However, we can be highly proficient in our subject. We can deeply understand it in details. But all this expertise could be rendered ineffective in case we don't have ability to explain and communicate, convey our ideas, our understanding in a simplest way. The ability to explain becomes kind of a bridge between our knowledge, our expertise, and actions, further actions. And indeed, this is really easier said than done, especially when we face with special technical jargon in our new projects, in communicating with different people, stakeholders, and that's where visual evidence comes into play. Let me share something I encountered at my work when I just first joined one of our projects. For example, phrases like bank share SBLC utilization is split across PPBB records in LIQ, BCML, but all relates to financial SBLC utilization, or orphans should be eliminated at the specified level of granularity. Even though this is all in English, it feels like a completely different language, isn't it? So when I first heard this kind of terminology, I was shocked, confused, and honestly lost. I remember thinking, are you kidding me? And just wanting to close my laptop in frustration. This is exactly what people from other areas, projects, or environments might feel when they are presented with unfamiliar and complex topics. And our challenge of business analysts to ensure that no one feels this way during our communication. And to overcome this, we must rely on tools, just, not to collapse. So, how do we tackle this challenge? That seems easy. By leveraging how our brain processes information visually. So, how do we comprehend? Our brains are naturally designed to consume visuals. It's one of the oldest way we process information. Long before we developed language, humans relied on visual cues in the environment to understand the world and make decisions. So today, this evolutionary trait still plays a significant role in how we absorb information. In fact, 90% of information our brain receives through the visual channels. Remarkably, the human brain processes images about 60,000 times faster than text, taking only 13 milliseconds to comprehend an image. So, can you imagine the difference between what we say and what we show? This innate preference for visuals make them a really, really powerful tool for communication and understanding. Now that we have explored why visuals are so powerful, let's dive into specifics. How can we make understanding through visuals even more productive and effective? And I'm going further. Our brain naturally looks for patterns, looking the easiest way to gain information. So let's look. So do you know actually how small is Earth and Sun in comparison to one of the largest big holes? Let me show you. I will skip this. So yeah. Okay. And of course, you are aware that it is really huge. But if we go to numbers, I would say like one of the largest black holes, Ton 618, the largest known, is at 66 billion star masses, and it has been calculated to be 262 billion miles across. That's more than 43 times the diameter of our entire solar system. Impressive, right? But you know, those are just numbers. Let's look at this. That's our sun, that bright dot. Thank you, NASA, for that great visualization. So, from my point of view, this is just perfect example of why a picture is worth 1,000 words. No matter how many numbers or facts you throw at you or your colleagues, billions of miles, solar masses, or diameters, or some other data, it might be hard to truly grasp the scale or hidden idea. But with just one visual, you suddenly see it. You feel it, I would even say. That's the power of visuals. They make the incomprehensible understandable and turn very much abstract concepts into something we can relate to. So let's now back a bit to the ability of our brain to understand. So there are several tips how this could how we can make it easier, and it also based on this innate ability of our brain to comprehend information. So our brain strives to save some energy, and that's why using technique called pattern recognition helps our brain just look for something that is easier to understand, something that is familiar for our brain. And one of examples I would give you here that is closely related to our daily routine. Actually, it is working with user stories and working with user stories in a form of user story mapping. For example, let's consider a scenario. An IT business analyst is working with stakeholders to gather requirements for a new project, which is project management tool, right? And making easier the comprehension of requirements, we can use a user story map. which created to visually organize user stories based on priorities, based on functionality, or based on roles. So, by visually organizing user stories based on some key points, as I mentioned, functionality or priorities or roles or something you picked up to differentiate, so we begin to identify patterns on how features, tasks, or processes align with the overall goals of the project. So these patterns help us group related stories, spot gaps in requirements. This also happens time to time, and prioritize effectively. And of course, this structured visualization makes easier to recognize connections, dependencies, areas for improvement, etc., etc. Another way our brain manages data consumption is through chunking. It is also looks quite simple, but worth to mention. Breaking down complex information into smaller, manageable parts or chunks is a technique called chunking. Visual aids like user story maps or process flows helps us digest information piece by piece. And of course, it improves both understanding and retention new information. And not only for us, right? Also for our colleagues, stakeholders, managers, etc. So that means by chunking, our brains reduce this cognitive overload and create a plan path from like individual tasks to entire picture. All right, let's then go to one more example. I would expect this. Yeah, okay, we have it now. So when I first time joined my project, I got just overwhelming, just enormous amount of new information in form of code. Yes, it wasn't described, it wasn't divided into readable, comprehensive business requirements. And of course, it is way too complicated. My communication with my clients, internal clients, stakeholders, etc. So I decided to put this thousands rows of code into something readable, comprehensive, and explainable. It's not even necessary to use very complex diagrams. Sometimes it is just okay to put the concept into very simple block to block comprehensive sequence. Or instead of complicated explanation, just use an easy to understand pivot table, because based on raw data with millions rows of text, of data, numbers, it is really hard to communicate, to convey your ideas to the stakeholders. So instead of using this, just use this, which is divided, structured, and eventually it is readable, right? So we understand that visuals matters in explanation, and we understand why. Visuals bring very abstract ideas, concepts to life, making them consumable. And only doing this, we can cooperate effectively, we can discuss, we can like Be active during our daily routine meetings, calls, and involve our stakeholders to be the same. Visuals simplify complexity. They break down complex ideas into easy, digestible pieces, allowing for quicker comprehension, understanding, and retention. Engagement through visualization also is a key. As I mentioned earlier, that engages audience and make them to cooperate, which is absolute key for a business analyst and for entire development team. And of course, it is universal language. All of us, or most of us, work in diverse environments, in multicultural teams. So visuals can transcend language barriers, making information accessible to diverse audience. Everything I mentioned during my presentation, you can read in a deeper way. So through this reference, there are a lot of scientists, surveys, works, etc. So that would be also beneficial if you need to dive in it in more details. And of course, I'm happy to cooperate, to communicate. Please feel free to join me via my social network, via LinkedIn. Actually, any way of cooperation would be beneficial for all of us. So yeah, happy to contact. Yeah, Tirana, I'm done, I think, with this, like more theoretical.
Yeah, thank you very much, Milana. It was a very interesting and impressive and visually perfect, I would say, presentation. Thank you very
Thank
much. So far, I don't see any questions or comments in our chats, but as you may see, we have this contact slide, so you can contact Milana offline in case you have some questions. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining and have a good day.
Thank you
See
for
you.
having me and have a good day as well.
Bye bye.
Bye.